Alright, Ben here again with our limited run wish list for 2025. Woo! Now, last year, our honorable mention was Skullgirls Second Encore, 10 Spelunky, 9 Rainbow Moon, 8 Curses and Chaos, 7 Tetris Effect, the square piece, the T piece, the L piece, 6 The House in Fata Morgana, 5 Shadow Complex, 4 Dragon Fantasy, 3 Astro Breed, 2 Gradius Collection, and 1 The Messenger. And most of those had been previously released by Limited Run, but since they started Xbox and PS5 now, I thought they were due for a re-release and hoping some of them would come out. And this is not only an update to that, but it's the wish list for 2025, Mike Hierro. So let's make it happen, Limited Run. Now, some of the stuff is, it's, well, you can see right there. You got the Gotoku 4 remastered, Shiro and the Cold Town, Snow Brothers. So they released a really wide variety of games, and some of their editions are a little bit expensive, but anyway, I think number 1, The Messenger, was actually not limited run, but Video Games Plus, and I know this sort of seems like a commercial, but that wasn't the intention, is actually taking pre-orders for the complete game by Devolver Digital. So this also includes the DLC. And yeah, so dreams come true. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on an original version when you can get this one. So hey, boom, let's make it happen. And also, a glaring omission, my 2023 Indie Game of the Year. I cannot believe I forgot to add it to the list. It would have been definitely top 3. But this month, and 9 Years of Shadows, great Castlevania style game here. You can see Europa there with her halberd, by Halberd Studios. And but Limited Run is taking orders right now, and I think that's until the end of the month. Pre-orders close Sunday, January 26th. Yes, but fantastic game. You can see some of the screenshots there. Great bosses, great challenge. I loved my time with that game. I mean, I created an entire video and it separated the indies from Game of the Year just so I could talk about this game. That's how much I love it. But yeah, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in any of those. Now, for the 2025 edition, we're going to come in with our first honorable mention. Boom! Astro Breed. Again, I haven't heard anything on the updates of this game or release schedule, and this list may be a little shooter heavy, but that's okay. Shooters are where it's at if you're an old school gamer. So just look at those graphics. I really wish that's not Astro Breed, is it? I'm not sure. Who said shoot 'em ups can't be cinematic? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this getting a re-release, and hopefully someday it's gonna happen, because as we said, 2 of the games I wanted already have. And the other honorable mention we've got here is that Dark Hunter Kuro? Dark Hunter Kuro, yes. It also looks like a pretty interesting, I guess it was a Ninja Gaiden style game. I saw it on YouTube a couple months back and I wanted to add it to the wish list. But yeah, so who knows if that's going to get a release anywhere. Moving on, number 10. We have, boom, another shooter. Surprise, surprise. Angel at Dusk. This thing looks awesome. I saw it in the Nintendo Switch eShop, and I haven't actually purchased it because I'm kind of hoping that it gets a release here. But fantastic graphics here. Again, don't be afraid of all the bullets. Your hitbox is usually pretty small, and that was probably my biggest hangup when first showed up on the scene in Japan. And I saw Bullet Hell or Danmaku, and it was like, how the hell do you play this? But you know, you get used to it, you get good, and then you enjoy the game. So yeah, Angel at Dusk comes in at number 10. Moving on to number 9. This game was actually on the list last year, but Shadow Complex uh, remastered. So I think this originally came out on the 360, and then they released it on at least PS4. I'm not sure about Switch, but fantastic looking Metroid style game. I really hope they re-release this at some point, because again, there's no way I'm paying hundreds of dollars for games that I mean, while they should be limited, I think a better model would be to have people pre-order them, and then you produce a run. And if you have more people want to buy them in the future, you keep taking orders, and then when enough people get there to make a second production run, then you make a second production one. But it is what it is. Hopefully Shadow Complex Remastered will make a return appearance. Yeah. Number 8 is Super XYX. Now this is, or Zix, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this was actually, there we go. You can see in the very small here, Neo XYX was actually Neo Geo dev team, and they released it for the MVS and AES well after the fact. But yeah, it's also another shooter, so surprise, surprise. But this one, I don't think Limited Run has the greatest chance of coming out, because you can also see here underneath the art here, eastasiasoft.com. Then we'll zoom in on the artwork there. Fantastic. PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and yeah. So again, fantastic graphics. Neo Geo dev team rarely goes wrong with their products. The production time left much to be desired, so I hear. But yeah, I mean, this game again, East Asia Soft. They go through Play Asia Games. So I think if there's going to be a physical release of this game, that the best chance is going to be coming from Play Asia. So you know, I'm not holding my breath, but I will keep my fingers crossed, and hopefully the number 8 game here comes out at some point. Okay, moving on to 31 Days of Star Fox, we have Fur Squadron. Now this game was super fun. Again, it's totally Star Fox, but yeah, you even got your amphibian, you got your I guess that's, what is a fox? Fox is a canine. That's a badger, I think. And of course, wolf. Isn't there a, well, Star Wolf is the enemy. Oh, there's even a comparison here. You're looking at them side by side. But yeah, First Squadron was fun. I don't see it actually happening, but it'd be great to have this physical and offline instead of a download in case anything happens to go wrong. But yeah, First Squadron would be a great pickup. And I think it's actually really cheap if you do just want to download it. But First Squadron clocks in at the number 7 game. I hope they come out physical this year. Number 6, a repeat from last year. If it clicks and if it loads, we've got a computer that decided to get slow real quick for no reason at all. Dragon Fantasy, yeah. Talked about it a little bit last year, but it's a fantastic 8-bit looking and then 16-bit looking. I don't know why Dragon's Crown is there, but 8-bit and 16-bit inspired and looking retro game, retro style game. For PS3 is where I played it. But they had 1 and 2, and then they also released a third one. So hopefully, again, Limited Run did those the first time. Hopefully they'll bring them back and get them on PS5 or Series or whatever. But yeah, zoom in here. Ogden, yeah. So yeah, see, you got the Dragon Quest style, or Dragon Warrior if you prefer style there. And the overworld, again, looks like either game that or Final Fantasy. So it was fun to play, and hopefully, like I said, they'll bring it back. And now moving into the top 5. Now we get the I guess fewer and fewer as we move along. This becomes more and more difficult to actually hope for a release. But Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, a complete version, would be awesome. The game was fantastic. I did the Kickstarter, and Iga produced good work. Sort of throwing it in Konami's face a little bit, because you know, I don't know, they kind of did him dirty. They didn't want him making the games he wanted to make, so he did it himself. But the game is fantastic. Unfortunately, like I said, they released the game and then they hadn't met all the Kickstarter goals. So piece by piece, the DLCs trickled in, title updates that were promised, like extra characters and stuff like that. And I mean, it's cool, but the last thing they released, which was a shock to me, was some paid DLC, and that actually added some trophies. So I lost my 100%, which was pretty irritating. But you know, I really thought I was done with the game. Now, like I said, it's fantastic, but at the time it was just you know, I'm done with the game. I don't want any more of the add-ons. Don't really care. And now I just want a complete version of the game. So hopefully someone somewhere is gonna pick this up and release a complete version with all of the updates, all of the free DLC, all of the paid DLC, like Messenger earlier, and we'll have a complete version of the game. But yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night comes in at the number 5 game I'd like to see released physically. Number 4, and I don't understand why this hasn't happened, but you've got Touhou Project. This specifically is Imperishable Night, which is Touhou Project 8. But they've got about 20 games, shooters. I think they're developed by one person too. But they're all released for PC. And they're fantastic. I'm calling out Imperishable Night because of Electric Underground, who's a far better shooter player than I am. But, so you can see you got the anime style characters there. That's okay. It's all about the gameplay. And the reason he shouted this out, I think, is because it's a great entry game to the world of shooters. So well, okay, some of the things do look ridiculous, but again, if you don't panic and you just use your tiny hitbox to avoid the bullets, then you know you'll be safe and you have some more gamer cred under your belt. But the game was fantastic. Again, it's a little bit on the easier side if you're looking to get into the genre and learn the strategies of bullet dodging and when to do your cancels and all of that. But it's never been released physically. It's only available, like I said, on PC or Steam. That being said, a spin-off project, Touhou, what is it? Spell Bubble? No. New World? Something like that. These actually have gotten physical releases on the Switch. And that's why Toho Project, the shooter's not being released as a collection, is so frustrating because that's the original version of the game. These are side games, and yet they're released and are getting more, I guess, respect than the games that created them in the first place. But yeah, so hopefully, like I said, number 4 request at some point for a physical release here is the Toho Project, and yeah, hope. I mean, I don't want to be greedy, but they could release like 1 through 10 on one version of the game, and then 11 through 20 on a second SD card or disc or whatever. Although if you're gonna do it on PS5s and you got the Blu-rays, then you have much more space. You probably could release them all on one disc or 2 Switch cards. But yeah, so you know, I love to see it happen, and hopefully someday we can. We got 3 left, and you knew it was coming, and I believe it's the final shooter on the list. Yes, but Konami, what the hell are you doing, man? Because I am itching for a Gradius collection. You can see arcade up archives, arcade archives in the upper left there. I mean, that doesn't get the job done for me. And the anniversary collection with I mean, it's got Gradius 1 and 2 arcade, but that doesn't get the job done for me. And what was it last year? Was it number 2? Yeah, this was number 2. So it's fallen one spot. Just I'm not really sure why, but because I don't think it's happening, quite honestly. But yeah, you can see Gradius 3 is on there. Gradius, that's looks like the PC Engine version. But yeah, how many games could you fit on this? Gradius, NES, Gradius Arcade, PC Engine version. We say Gradius 2 NES, Gradius 2 Arcade, Gradius 2 PC Engine, Gradius 3 Arcade, Gradius 3 Super Nintendo, Gradius 4, Gradius 5, Gradius Gaiden. I've got 11 fingers counted out now. And I think there's, well, Nemesis. There might be up to 3 Game Boy versions. So you could rival Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and have a 14 game. No, are there 12 games in that Cowabunga collection? I'm not sure. But yeah, you could have 14 games here of some of the greatest shooters of all time. And yeah, you got the infamous slowdown bubbles here, which I actually think was a feature, not a bug, to help the gamer out. But yeah, Gradius, I love the games, love the series. And you know, who knows? If it sells well, maybe Konami can actually do something and create a 6th game, because fans of the series have been waiting forever. But yeah, if there's something I want from Konami this year, it's a Gradius collection. So let's make it happen. Limit run, let's make it happen. And yeah, time to move on to number 2. Now number 2, last year was like we said, number 7, Tetris Effect, because there was no square, no T block, and no L piece. They released the J piece, or is it the J piece? Well, one of them was released as PS4. The line bar was the PS5 version. Z block, I think, was Switch, and the S block was Xbox, or vice versa, for Tetris Effect, which we'll click on now. So yeah, okay, that's the Z block was Switch. Okay, that is the J block. So yeah, we need the L block, and you can see the Xbox version there. But yeah, Tetris Effect. So we're missing 4 pieces, and I'm like, well, if they release it on another platform, you know, maybe we can get the rest of them, and we have a full 7-piece Tetris set. But then, on one of the few directs last year, they announced Tetris Forever. And it's like, oh, what's happening here? So, this is, as far as I know, this is currently digital only. And if you look at it, it is just ripe for a limited run to snatch it up, do the remaining Tetris pieces, and call it a day. Make gamers happy, make me happy. I don't recall offhand how many Tetris games there are, but as I'm gonna rant about in the next video, NES Tetris is not one of the games, and that is a glaring omission. I am aware they released it on Nintendo Switch Online, but that's not good enough. If Switch Online ever goes down, and who knows if the next system's even called the Switch. They just say it's the Switch 2, but nobody knows for sure because Nintendo hasn't announced anything. But yeah, they're gonna have to change the name at some point to Nintendo Online or whatever, if that even sticks around. But they need to add NES Tetris, which they use at the Tetris World Classic Tetris World Championships. They need to add it to this game as DLC if they haven't already, and they need to release a physical version. And I would be so there for that. Because I really want to get Tetris Forever. Especially the Time Warp mode where you're playing different Tetris eras back to back. Oh. But the second I buy it digitally, I know they're going to announce a physical version. So I'm not going to do it. I've got to hold off. Are they playing 4-player side-by-side different versions here? You got the computer and then the Game Boy. That is sick. Oh, I need this game so bad to come out physically. Because like I said, as soon as I buy it digitally, they're going to announce it. And then I'm going to be kicking myself. And really don't want to double dip. And no one should be forced to. But yeah, so Tetris Forever. We need the T piece. We need the L piece. And we need the square piece. So please make it happen, somebody. And for the #1 game I would like to see physically, and they do enough Snow Brothers, so I'm thinking another wintry game. You got U-Pixel in action, Mission in Snowdrift Land, which I'm just gonna call Mission in Snowdrift Land. Now this is a cute action platformer here, which originally released on the Wii, and the reason I want it so much is because it's like an advent calendar. Different missions open up on different days in December, to the best of my knowledge. Again, I didn't have it back then, or I wish I had. Although, does that say 2006? Yeah, so I don't even know if I would have had it on the Wii, or was it a Flash game? Anyway, but you can see the squares like an advent calendar. So yeah, you'll open it up and you'll play a mission. And it just seems really cool. It seems like a perfect game to play for Christmas. And get some of the things here. Now, Nintendo had, I think, either licensed it or bought the copyrights or something from the company. So it was dead in the water for years, lost for 14 years. You can even see it on the left side here. But they redid it and they released it on Steam. And ever since then, I think it says 2021 in this screenshot here underneath the... well, it says, yeah, parentheses 2021. So I've been waiting for 4 years now for them to announce a Switch or PS4 or PS5 or Xbox version of the game, and I'm still waiting. So hopefully someone is going to pick this game up we get a physical release, I'll be happy. I'm sure other people will be happy. Spread the news because I'm sure a lot of people never heard about the game too. Or remind people, oh yeah, I had this back on the Wii eShop and it disappeared. I couldn't play it. So yeah, hopefully somebody will pick up Mission in Snowdriftland because the game looks so cool. The Christmas theme or winter theme is awesome, and yeah, that is my list of games that hopefully Limited Run or somebody can release physically this year. And we'll recap. We got honorable mentions of Asta Breed, Dark Hunter Kuro. Number 10, we got Angel at Dusk, Shooter, Shadow Complex. Number 9, 8, Super XYX. Again, East Asia Soft. That's probably going to be a Play Asia if they do it. 7, First Squadron. 6, Dragon Fantasy Collection. 5, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night complete version with all DLC. 4, Toho Project Shooters, at least 1 through 10, if not all 1 through 20. 3, Gradius Collection, still waiting, Konami. 2, Tetris Forever with the square T and L pieces. And finally, Mission in Snowdrift Land. So, let me know in the comments what limited run games or any other of the indie publishers. Or there are a few companies that do limited productions online, like we said, Video Games Plus over there in the first tab we showed for the Messenger. But yeah, let me know in the comments what games you'd like to see brought physical. And until next time, keep dancing.